Hello and welcome to the No One Asked You podcast. This series, I am once again joined by my wonderful co-host, That Darn Kitty.
Dorkus and I are sharing our experience reading The Way of Kings for the first time. Each episode, we will summarize what we've read and discuss the experience along the way.
This is Storming the Archives, The Way of Kings, and today we discuss chapters 74 and 75.
74 and 75!
Yes, blind blinds, both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And the epilogue will, of course, be a blind as well. For those who are listening as it premieres, I'm going to premiere the epilogue right after this episode finishes, instead of waiting a week. So yay!
Bonus!
Let's get into it, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Ghost Blood. I've seen the name pop up a little bit on recommended videos. I think Mr. Sanderson is writing a Ghost Blood book.
Mm.
So that seems interesting. So I'm expecting like a faction or a group.
Yeah, there is, if you look at the chapter artwork, there's an ardent there. So, yeah.
And I think Amaram was worried about the Ghost Bloods in the Betrayal chapter, yeah?
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yes. Shalon rubbed her eyes. She'd read through Yasna's notes, at least the most important ones. Those alone, I'm not complaining about Shalon chapters, but I think it's so funny that I was like, okay, if this previous chapter ends here for the book, I'm content. And yet now we're getting a bunch of them. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get a hint as to whether or not Yasna is informed at all about Taravangian's
Yes,
shenanigans.
I think that's what's worth this chapter is it's good to give us. Now we have extra information, so now looking back or having a look back into this is important. But also there might be more revelations here.
Yeah.
In this chapter, so.
Those alone had made a large stack. She still sat in the alcove, though they'd sent a parshman to get her a blanket to wrap around herself, covering up the hospital robe. Curious that she's still willing to work with parshmen, now knowing what Yasna suspects. I'd be freaked out. I'd want nothing to do with the parshmen if I suspected they were Voidbringers.
Yeah, but the thing is she knows that they're enslaved. So nothing has changed.
But she also knows that the Parshendi have come. So I'd be like, something strange is amiss. Her eyes burned from the night spent crying, then reading. She was exhausted, and yet she also felt alive.
It's true,
she said.
You're right. The Voidbringers are the Parshmen. I can see no other conclusion.
No! Dig deeper. Yasna smiled, looking oddly pleased with herself, considering that she'd only convinced one person.
Yeah, that is quite interesting. It's like, of course she's going to agree with you, Yasna. But maybe that's a sign of respect, at least. But also, like, she's just kept it to herself for a while, so.
Yeah.
And I don't think this theory we know it's not given to Dalinar at all. We know that she's doing research. Dalinar just knows that she's doing research. So it will be interesting. When will she give this information to Dalinar? Like, come on now.
I'm very curious, especially since I think we're going to get a lot of Dalinar and Kaladin reconciling their newfound respect for the Parshendi. I think there'll be some interesting conflict between Dalinar, Kaladin, and Yasna. I think they'll differ on what needs to be done.
Yeah, exactly what needs to be done, even if they are the Voidbringers. It's like, well, yeah. Oh, just another thing, sorry, before we get on. Did we discuss the fact that Dalinar brought up in the previous chapter, Dalinar brought up the true desolation. He said the true desolation comes, and then Kaladin goes, what was that? Has Kaladin heard about the true desolation in his visions? Because that's what it's hinting at, is that they both realize that something's going on.
I would have to review the chapter where he flew across the continent. But I'm a little surprised that Dalinar. I can't believe I didn't even bring it up before. I'm a little surprised that Dalinar believes that the Everstorm is coming when it's the Almighty who told him. And in the last few chapters, he's been very gung ho on the Almighty lied to me, so I don't know what to believe.
I think it's still he just has that feeling. It really is just that it seems like something big is coming. He's also now seen the desolation, like he's seen what the aftermath looks like in a vision. So
Mm-hmm.
he's like,
True.
yeah, I know that he's confused, but he's not going to discard absolutely everything from the visions.
That's fair, I think.
Because remember, those visions have been confirmed to have been based in reality. So the
Yeah.
voice might be something that lied to him, but the visions themselves, those like flashbacks essentially, those are to be trusted,
Right.
at least, or considered.
Yeah, and again, we know that Dalinar did not take any unique note of Parshendi corpses in the Noadon scene, but he did take
Mm-hmm.
note of the Thunderclasts. So
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't think it unreasonable to imagine a scene where Yasna goes to Dalinar and says, "Hey, the Parshendi are the Voidbringers," and Dalinar says something to the effect of, "No, they're not. I I've seen
Mm-hmm.
these giant rock creatures dead after a desolation. I'm pretty sure those are the Voidbringers, and I think the Thunderclasts are more likely to be Voidbringers than the Parshendi, but
Yeah,
I I think there's
and
something more to it.
remember the first, well, one of the first, I think it might be the first, the first vision that Dalinar gets into is like he's in a barn or something, and then there's the child that's there.
Hmm.
Those are like real monsters that are there as well. Like,
Yeah,
is that just because the person that he's reliving their life? Is it because they perceived monsters? They thought of them as monsters. It's not actually real. It's just their imagination. I don't know. I
interesting.
don't think so. They were, unless the Parshendi, okay, the Parshendi evolved past what they are now.
Yeah.
So we've got Parshman, Parshendi, Thunderclast, Parshman, Parshendi, Shadow Thing. Yeah,
Hmm.
so just more and more. Yeah, there's 5 books of this, so I think we'll find out at some point.
Yeah,
Right, anyway. So what next?
Shalon asked.
That has to do with your previous studies. My studies? You mean your father's death? Indeed. The Parshendi attacked him,
Shalon said.
killed him suddenly without warning.
She focused on the other woman.
That's what made you begin studying all of this, isn't it?
Correct, Shalon, most likely.
Yeah. And yeah, trying to figure out why would they do that? What's in their maybe she started off with their culture and then it's like, oh wait a second. Yeah.
Yasna nodded.
Those wild Parshmen, the Parshendi of the Shattered Plains, are the key.
She leaned forward.
Shalon, the disaster awaiting us is all too real, all too terrible. I don't need mystical warnings or theological sermons to frighten me. I'm downright terrified in my own right. Yeah, again, Tyndall-ish. Yeah.
Yeah, very Tindwallish. So she believes that the coming of the Voidbringers is bringing in something even worse.
Hmm.
And we know that Dalinar is thinking the Everstorm is coming now, I guess.
Hmm.
But I'm wondering what makes Yasna think something worse is coming.
Yeah, well, she knows that things have gotten worse in the past. So let's see if she explains. But we have the Parshmen tamed, do we? Shalon, think of what they do, how they're regarded, how often they're used.
Yeah, don't do that, Alethi.
That yeah, that's what Dorkus is saying. Why he's freaked out. He's like, they're right there. So Shalon is like me, and she's like, yeah, well, they're fine. They're yeah. It's like yeah, but something's gonna change. You don't know. They're everywhere. They've
Yeah,
infiltrated.
yep. The
Mm,
Parshman Rebellion is coming.
mm-hmm. And can you blame them?
Only Shen will be decent. And even he's gonna
I
be
don't know.
wary because of what Kaladin did.
Yeah, he's ready for vengeance, man.
Yeah. Shalon hesitated. The Parshmen were pervasive.
They serve our food.
Yasna continued.
They work our storehouses. They tend our children. There isn't a village in Roshar that doesn't have some Parshmen. We ignore them. We just expect them to be there, doing as they do, working without complaint. Yet one group turned suddenly from peaceful friends to ferocious warriors. Something set them off, just as it did hundreds of years ago during the days known as the heraldic epochs. There would be a period of peace, followed by an invasion of Parshmen, who, for reasons nobody understood, had suddenly gone mad with rage. This was what was behind mankind's fight to keep from being banished to damnation. This was what nearly ended our civilization. These were terrible, repeated cataclysms that were so frightening, men began to speak of them as desolations. So she's now saying, okay, yeah, cool, they mythologized it, they went over the top about it because it just was so terrifying. That's what happens. Things that are as crazy as the sun rising made people believe in the sun god. So it makes sense that something as big and scary as a huge war becomes something spiritual.
Right. And
But I think it might be a mix. I really do. Like, I'm not with Yasna, but that's probably just because I don't know, I'm on the Christian side of things.
sure. Well, this is a world of magic, so it's
Yeah.
understandable to consider magical answers. But yeah, she's basically saying there are long periods of peace followed by Parshendi coming and attacking for an unknown
Mhm.
reason, and that's the cycle, right?
Yeah. And look, we know as well, sorry, just for another thing, that's the cycle. Cool. I love that. But what we know from the beginning, okay, the prologue, is that actually the heralds are real
Mhm.
and damnation is real.
Mhm.
Because they have been like they also go through a cycle that they have to go through fighting, then they have to go back to damnation to basically be tortured for all the death that they've caused, but then they come back to save people. So we know that that's actually real. So I think that's also another point for doubting Yasna's view here.
Right.
I would actually want to ask, like, who were the heralds then?
Probably just great warriors of old, Shalon.
Yeah, true.
Uniquely wonderful heroes who rose to the occasion and saved everyone
Mhm.
from the Parshendi each
Yeah.
time.
And they people just gave them the same name over and over. It wasn't that the others that they returned.
I'm sure there's a linguistic answer to that.
Mm. We've nurtured the Parshmen. We've integrated them into every part of our society. We depend on them, never realizing that we've harnessed a high storm waiting to explode. The accounts from the Shattered Plains speak of these Parshendi's ability to communicate amongst themselves, allowing them to sing their songs in unison when far apart. Their minds are connected, like span reeds. Do you realize what that means? Yes, it means activation!
Yes! It means the
Yeah.
second the Parshendi figure out how to fix the lobotomites,
Mm-hmm.
every city's gonna face a huge uproar.
Yeah. They I wonder how fast they grow that armor carapace,
Hmm.
though. So it's like at least they'll be a little bit weaker because of that. They haven't grown it yet.
Maybe.
But maybe, yeah, new Parshmen will start having that. Anyway,
Yeah.
we don't know.
Shalon nodded. What would happen if every Parshman on Roshar suddenly turned against his masters, seeking freedom, or worse, vengeance?
Yes, I'm glad vengeance is worse than freedom. Well done. Good. We'd be devastated. Civilization as we know it could collapse. We have to do something. We are.
Yasna said.
We're gathering facts, making certain we know what we think we know. And how many facts do we need? More. Many more.
Yasna glanced at the books.
There are some things about the histories I don't yet understand. Tales of creatures fighting alongside the Parshmen, beasts of stone that might be
Hmm.
some kind of great shell. Yes! There they are, they're the Thunderclast. Okay, sorry.
Speak to Dalinar, Yasna. Jesus.
Yeah, like we need some multidisciplinary, you know, consultations and things. Yeah, you just keep it all to yourself. It's the end of the world.
Yasna is going to be so freaking ecstatic when she finds out that Dalinar unlocked the Dawn Chant.
Which is, oh yes, the dawn chant, the language. Yes, because she's going to find out. She's got that unlocks a lot of literature for her.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Do you think, though, she'll believe Dalinar when he says, yeah, I see visions and I saw these rock creatures?
She's gonna have to, because there's the fact that he unlocked the freaking dawn chant.
Right, it seems
Okay, through the
airtight.
visions. Yeah, so she's gonna have to take this data in, even if she doesn't understand it. Sorry, it's still something.
Yeah. If nothing else, Navani believes, and that's important.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, but that's also why we need them to speak. Good, damn it.
Yes. And also, I'm really curious to know what Shalon's going to do about her family right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, when are they going to get back to the Shattered Plains? Questions.
Yeah, so many questions. But right now, if she's realizing how the world is in danger, maybe
Mhm.
she'll just be like, "Listen, guys, there are some things that we need to do that are more important." But yeah, like, you don't just dismiss what's happening to your family, though. Oh
Yeah.
well, we'll see what she does.
Yep.
There are some things about the histories I don't yet understand. Tales of creatures fighting alongside the Parshmen, beasts of stone that might be some kind of great shell, and other oddities that I think may have truth to them. But we've exhausted what Carbranth can offer. Are you still certain you want to delve into this? It is a heavy burden we will bear. You won't be returning to your estates for some time. Ooh, there you go. So let's see what Shalon's thoughts are here.
Yes, and also it notes that she's going to be leaving Carbronth soon anyway. So,
Yes.
good to know.
So we want them, yeah, we want them going to the Shattered Plains, or I don't know where the next place is, but we just want them to team up.
Yes.
Maybe she wants to go and investigate the Parshendi at the Shattered Plains.
Exactly. It's been a long
Yeah.
time coming. Shalon bit her lip, thinking of her brothers.
You'd let me go now, after what I know? I won't have you serving me while thinking of ways to escape.
Spoken like Shalon's a prisoner?
Yeah,
Odd phrasing?
escape. That's yeah,
Uh,
yeah, it is odd.
unless she means
But yes,
escape
like
from the Parshendi.
no. I think she means just escape from her responsibilities, escape from responsibility for her crimes, even. Just
Hmm,
escape, as in leave.
sure. So do you think Shalon's going to be like, okay, I'm going to go home to my brothers, help them figure things out, and then I'm coming right back? I don't think
Eh,
that's
I
going to
don't,
happen.
and I don't think that's good enough for Yasna.
Yes, and Shalon needs to still learn how to soulcast.
Exactly.
So she might end up writing to one of her brothers, come pick up the soulcaster.
Yeah.
It can't be used, so you have to return it. Yasna sounded exhausted.
I can't just abandon my brothers.
Shalon's insides twisted again.
But this is bigger than them. Damnation. It's bigger than me or you or any of us. I have to help, Yasna. I can't walk out on this. I found some other way to help my family. There you go, Shalon. Yes. And it is bigger than them. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet that earns some points with Yasna.
Mm, yeah. Good. Then go pack your things. We're leaving tomorrow on that ship I chartered for you. We're going to Yakavet? No. We need to get to the center of it all.
She looked at Shalon.
We're going to the Shattered Plains. Yay!
Excellent!
Yes, so she wants to investigate the Parshendi.
Mm-hmm.
We need to find out if the Parshendi were ever ordinary Parshmen, and if so, what set them off?
No, it's the other way around,
Outside.
probably.
Hmm.
My guess
So
is it's
what?
the other way
Yes,
around.
yes. They were this. This is the natural form of a Parshendi, a Parshman. But then, what turned them off? Yes,
Yes, the Parshmen are unnatural. The Parshendi are
yes,
natural.
yes.
Someone did something to the Parshendi, turning them into Parshmen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, we need to get to the center of it all.
She looked at Shalon.
We're going to the Shattered Plains. We need to find out if the Parshendi were ever ordinary Parshmen, and if so, what set them off. Perhaps I'm wrong about this, but if I'm right, then the Parshendi could hold the key to turning ordinary Parshmen into soldiers.
Then grimly she continued.
And we need to do it before someone else does, then uses it against us. Someone else?
Shalon asked, feeling a sharp stab of panic.
There are others looking for this.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I suppose others would be curious about why things. She's not the only scholarly minded person.
Yep.
Is that why it makes sense? Yeah.
No, because well, yes, but also, given what we know about Alethi culture, at least, no one's not gonna weaponize the knowledge for
Yes.
their own personal use.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure Sadius would be very happy about that.
Sadius would think that he could weaponize his own Parshmen. Like he'd make them on his side or something, and then they would eat him alive. His hubris would be the end of him.
That would be great. I
Yeah.
hope that's just one of those predictions that you just said casually and then it turns out to be true.
Yeah.
Of course there are. Who do you think went to so much trouble trying to have me assassinated? Yes, this is
Shiryu.
true.
Yeah. She reached into a stack of papers on her desk.
I don't know much about them. For all I know, there are many groups searching for these secrets. I know of one for certain, however. They call themselves the Ghost Bloods. Bum bum bum, roll
Bum,
credits.
bum, bum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe they are related to, I guess, no, I was going to say, are they related to what's going on with Shalon's family? I don't think so. That's just, it might be influenced by what's going on.
Yeah, because I'm getting super secret organization vibes.
Which makes me think of those guys.
Yeah. She pulled out a sheet.
Your friend Cabsol was one. We found their symbol tattooed on the inside of his arm. Well, that's silly.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a giveaway, boys.
She set the sheet down. On it was a symbol of 3 diamonds in a pattern overlapping one another. It was the same symbol that Nambalat had shown her weeks ago, the symbol worn by Luesh, her father's steward, the man who had known how to use the Soulcaster. Yep.
Oh,
okay.
well, there's the relationship.
So Cabsol may have unironically known that Shalon... No, Cabsol would not have known because the other Ghost Bloods, I guess, were bothering Non-Balat for it. So, The symbol worn by the men who had come pressuring her family to return it. The men who had been financing Shalon's father in his bid to become High Prince.
Almighty above.
Shalon whispered. She looked up.
Yasna, I think my father might have been a member of this group.
I got the sense that the father was being used by the group, not a member of.
Yeah, me too. Like, did your father have a tattoo? Because it seems like everyone has to have a tattoo. But yeah.
Yeah, and considering the plot was to use the Soulcaster to make her father one of the High Princes, or a High Prince, it's like, what did he have to sell out for that privilege to the group? Kind of a thing.
It seems more like they would be just using him, a desperate man, as a puppet. It's like, we made you, so we're able to control you. Yeah. I don't think I'm not convinced her dad was part of it, unless there's some flashback or something that Yasna's, that Shalon is thinking about. But yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, and how does Amaram know about the group? Is Shalon just like naive, or are the Ghost Bloods more common than we've kind of been exposed to?
They're everywhere. Yes, they're a wide network.
75? In the top room. The high storm winds began to blow against Dalinar's complex, powerful enough to make rocks groan. Navani huddled close to Dalinar, holding to him. She smelled wonderful. It felt humbling to know how terrified she'd been for him. Okay, so there's a high storm. It doesn't sound like he's in the vision. What if he doesn't get any visions anymore?
That's what I was thinking the last time there was a vision. Is like, that seems like it's the last one. But Let's see. And also, hello, acknowledgement that he knows she was terrified. So it
Hmm.
seems like even if she had said that line about being terrified in a sort of bantery way, he knows it was true actually.
Yeah. Her joy at having him back was enough to dampen, for now, her fury at him for how he'd treated Elakar. She would come around. It had needed to be done. Really? I
Oh,
would have
now?
thought she'd have been all for it.
Yeah, but it's like no, only I can insult my son, and only I can abuse my son essentially. But it's like this is exactly she knows that it needs to be done. That's what he needed. In not the beating part, but the just the understanding.
The tough love of it.
Yes.
As the high storm hit in force, Dalinar felt the vision coming on. He closed his eyes, letting it take him. He had a decision to make, a responsibility. What to do? These visions had lied to him, or had at least misled him. It seemed that he couldn't trust them, at least not as explicitly as he once had. But did you ever, really?
Yeah. Not really. It's I think you just need to be aware of the assumptions you're making based on the visions.
Yeah, consider that it's not the Almighty, and consider that that person has his own agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Please. He took a deep breath, opened his eyes, and found himself in a place of smoke. He turned about, wary. The sky was dark, and he stood on a field of dull, bone-white rock, jagged and rough, extending in all directions, off into eternity. Amorphous shapes made of curling gray smoke rose from the ground, like smoke rings, only in other shapes. Here, a chair. There, a rock bud with vines extended, curling to the sides and vanishing. Beside him appeared the figure of a man in uniform, silent and vaporous, rising lethargically toward the sky, mouth open. I'm wondering if he's about to see the heralds abandoning their post. Like, are we seeing the prelude?
Yeah, I'm wondering that. I'm wondering. Okay, well, damnation is flames, so this might be where the heralds land up going. But yeah, there's no flames. Yeah.
Yeah. The shapes melted and distorted as they climbed higher, though they seemed to hold their forms longer than they should. It was unnerving standing on the boundless plain, pure darkness above, smoke figures rising all around. Smoke figures! Ruin
Yeah, that's what these
beings?
things. That's what the smoke figures have been. The mouth, the chair, the rock bed. Those were all smoke figures.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't like any vision he'd seen before. It was... No, wait. He frowned, stepping back as the figure of a tree burst from the ground close to him. I have seen this place before, in the first of my visions, so many months ago. It was fuzzy in his mind. He'd been disoriented, the vision vague, as if his mind hadn't learned to accept what it was seeing. In fact, the only thing he remembered distinctly was, "You must unite them." A powerful voice boomed. Was the voice. Okay. Is he seeing the
Mm.
first desolation?
Is he just going to be repeating all of these visions over and over again?
Oh man, reruns.
Yeah. And just as he said, as the voice said, you must unite them. It's like, do we unite the Parshman and the Parshendi?
Yeah,
Make
ask
them
some
one.
questions.
Mm.
Speaking to him from all around, causing the smoke figures to fuzz and distort. Why did you lie to me? Dalinar demanded of the open darkness. I did what you said, and I was betrayed. Unite them. The sun approaches the horizon. The Everstorm comes. The true desolation. The night of sorrows. You must prepare. Build of your people a fortress of strength and peace. A wall to resist the winds. Cease squabbling and unite. I need answers, Dalinar said. I don't trust you any longer. If you want me to listen to you, you'll need to... The vision changed. I mean, that sounds very biblical, I think. Yeah? The warning.
Mm. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a prophetic thing. It's uh, the
Yeah.
divine revelation is coming.
The vision changed. He spun about, finding that he was still on an open plain of rock, but the normal sun was in the sky. The stone field looked like an ordinary one on Roshar. It was very odd for one of the visions to set him in a place without others to talk to and interact with. though for once he wore his own clothing, the sharp blue Colin uniform. Is he in the future?
That's a big change. That maybe, but that's a
Yeah.
big change. So also just a reminder or just a point that in the when he was in the smoke world, which seems like I don't know the upside down of this
Yeah.
place where he was, the voice affected the smoke in that. So it's a different kind of place. The voice affects the
Hmm.
smoke, whereas in the other visions, it seems like the voice was just in his head.
Yeah.
Like, or in his head, as in it comes from everywhere, but he's the only one that can hear it, and he's the only one affected by it.
Right. Very strange.
Yeah.
Had this happened
Mm.
before, the other times he'd been in that place of smoke? Yes, it had. This was the first time he'd been taken to somewhere he'd been before. Why? He carefully scanned the scenery. Since the voice didn't speak to him again, he began to walk, passing cracked boulders and broken bits of shale, pebbles, and rocks. There were no plants, not even rock buds, just an empty landscape filled with broken stones. I would say maybe Dalinar's the one that's going to go on a pilgrimage in the desert, not Kaladin. But it seems like he'll be very
Mm.
occupied at home base, being the High Prince of War.
Yeah. Maybe it's a spiritual
Yeah.
pilgrimage.
Eventually, he spotted a ridge. Getting to high ground felt like a good idea, though the hike seemed to take hours. The vision did not end. Time was often odd in these visions. He continued to hike up the side of the rock formation, wishing he had his shard plate to strengthen him. Finally, at the top, he walked over to the edge to look down below, and there he saw Kholinar, his home, the capital city of Alethkar. It had been destroyed. Yeah, this is a possible future. Yep.
Future. Yeah.
Very ominous, so he's going to learn what's at stake, really meaningfully.
Mhm. Yeah.
The beautiful buildings had been shattered. The wind blades were cast down. There were no bodies, just broken stone. This wasn't the vision he had seen before, with Noadon. That wasn't the Kholinar of the distant past. He could see the rubble of his own palace, but there was no rock formation like the one he stood on near Kholinar in the real world. Always before, these visions had shown him the past. Was this now a vision of the future? Smart Dalinar,
Yeah, there you go.
right there with us.
Mhm.
I cannot fight him any longer, the voice said. Dalinar jumped, glancing to the side. A man stood there. He had dark skin and pure white hair. Tall, thick of chest, but not massive, he wore exotic clothing of a strange cut. Loose billowing trousers, and a coat that came down only to his waist. Both seemed made of gold. So whatever it was that this guy is holding back, it sounds like he's not going to be able to do it anymore, and I think bad times are going to come very quickly.
Yeah, accelerate.
Is this guy with the last herald?
I don't know. Who the hell are you? Just tell him. But I
Please.
suppose there's rules.
Yeah. Yes, this very thing had happened before in his very first vision. Dalinar could remember it now. Who are you? Dalinar demanded. Why are you showing me these visions? If you know you've done this before, I hope you're asking a question you didn't ask before, although I suspect you are. And
I think, yeah, he is because he didn't get the answer before. So he's
yeah,
hoping to get it this time.
yeah.
What other questions would you ask? Like, you still need to find out who this is and why. These are the main questions. Who are you? Why are you showing me these visions?
I I don't know. What are some fair speed dating questions to ask? No, just
Are these, yeah, are these real? Da, 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 da. Yeah. I just think these are the best questions.
yeah, I would just reiterate. You lied to me. I was betrayed
Mm.
because of you. Answers
He,
now.
yeah. Well, he did. He did say that earlier and got no response. So just
True.
going back to,
Eh,
yeah.
be more stubborn, Dalinar. Find a way to threaten him. Be like, no, I won't unite them unless you give me some goddamn answers.
Mhm.
I will walk away. It's nothing on me.
Yeah, that's you can call his bluff.
Yeah. Why are you showing me these visions? You can see it there, the figure said, pointing. If you look closely, it begins in the distance. Dalinar glanced in that direction, annoyed. He couldn't make out anything specific. Storm it, Dalinar said. Won't you answer my questions for once? What is the good of all of this if you just speak in riddles? The man didn't answer. He just kept pointing, and yes, something was happening. There was a shadow in the air, approaching. A wall of darkness, like a high storm, only wrong. At least tell me this, Dalinar said. What time are we seeing? Is this the past, the future, or something else entirely? The figure didn't answer immediately. I mean, that's a fine question, but I feel like
Mm.
others are still more pressing.
Mhm.
The figure didn't answer immediately. Then he said, You're probably wondering if this is a vision of the future.
It's like this is a recording. It can't hear you. It's just recording.
That is very much the sense that I'm getting here.
Mm. It's not hearing you. It's just has one message and that's it.
Yep. Dalinar started. I just asked. This was familiar. Too familiar. What if it's future Dalinar? No,
No,
seriously.
Eleanor doesn't have dark skin, does he?
Oh, yeah, no, he doesn't. Never mind. He said that exact thing last time, Dalinar realized, feeling a chill. This all happened. I'm seeing the same vision again. The figure squinted at the horizon. I cannot see the future completely. Cultivation. She is better at it than I. It's as if the future is a shattering window. The further you look, the more pieces that window breaks into. The near future can be anticipated, but the distant future, I can only guess. Cultivation
Mm.
sounds like a type of magic.
But it's a she.
Oh, yeah. Maybe an
Cultiv
angel? She's an angel then.
something.
Like,
She is better at it than I. Yeah.
or maybe it's like there's ruin, preservation, cultivation,
Mhm.
and so on.
Yeah.
Because we know that they're the 7 deadly sins, so there've got to be good ones too. You can't hear me, can you? Dalinar asked, feeling a horror as he finally began to understand. You never could. Whoa! I have to go back to
Yep.
every vision and see everything that he said. I have to revisit the Sadius conversation.
Mhm. Yes, exactly. So that means that it didn't lie to him. He just asked a certain question, and the voice basically just said the recording made him think that that meant he has to trust Sadius.
Yeah. Who's sending the recordings?
Yeah, exactly.
Blood of my fathers. He's not ignoring me. He can't see me. He doesn't speak in riddles. It just seems that way because I took his responses as cryptic answers to my questions. He didn't tell me to trust Sadius. I just assumed.
Yeah. So again, keep track of what you're assuming based on your visions. Don't ignore them. They are giving you information.
Yes.
They have a purpose. Yeah.
Yes, and this should hopefully suggest to you that it's not the Almighty, because why wouldn't the Almighty be able to speak to you in a situation like this?
Exactly.
Everything seemed to shake around Dalinar. His preconceptions, what he'd thought he'd known, the ground itself. That is what could happen, the figure said, nodding into the distance. It's what I fear will happen. It's what he wants, the true desolation. He? Ruit?
Mm. Yeah. Who? The baddie? The Almighty? Does the Almighty want the desolation? Because it's retribution?
No way. If there is an
Mm-hmm.
Almighty, why would he want that reset button?
Because he's the Almighty.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Read the New Testament, the Old Testament.
You're talking about the flood?
The flood, there just read it. There's a lot of there's floods, there's using nations against the Jews to kill them until there's only a remnant. There's a lot of
Hmm.
things that God's wrath is quite scary.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm.
No, that wall in the air wasn't a high storm. It wasn't rain making that enormous shadow, but blowing dust. He remembered this vision in full now. It had ended here, with him confused, staring out at that oncoming wall of dust. This time, however, the vision continued. The figure turned to him. I am sorry to do this to you. By now I hope that what you've seen has given you a foundation to understand. But I can't know for certain. I don't know who you are, or how you have found your way here. What to say? Did it matter?
Not really.
No,
That's what I think.
fair. But okay, this figure doesn't know who he's sending it to. That's interesting.
Yeah, because this might be he's sending it at the time it's happening.
Yeah. He's just, writing a note in a bottle and casting it out into the sea.
Yeah,
What does it mean that we think that Gavilar was having the visions too? So the visions can pass from a person to person?
yeah. I don't
Hmm.
know. Yeah, yeah. That's what we have thought the whole way through, that it passed
Yeah.
from one to the other.
And
Yeah.
what does it mean that Dalinar can interact with people in the visions?
I don't know.
Hmm. Most of what I show you are scenes I have seen directly, the figure said. That suggests he is, in fact, a herald.
Mm.
But some, such as this one, are born out of my fears. If I fear it, then you should too. That's some high class confidence right there.
What makes you think he's a herald just because of the vision, the previous visions, scenes that he's seen? Because he might
because
just be the guy that wrote, like, he's friends with the guy that wrote The Way of Kings. Is
because
that necessarily a herald?
because it suggests that this guy is immortal
Yeah.
in some way, that he's
Mm,
existed and seen all of these things. I mean, maybe he's not,
mm.
but hmm,
Well, where is he? And maybe that's why he can't communicate so well, because he might be still in damnation.
yeah,
He can't there's rules.
yeah. The land was trembling. The wall of dust was being caused by something, something approaching. The ground was falling away. Dalinar gasped. The very rocks ahead were shattering, breaking apart, becoming dust. He backed away as everything began to shake, a massive earthquake accompanied by a terrible roar of dying rocks. He fell to the ground. There was an awful, grinding, terrifying moment of nightmare. The shaking, the destruction, the sounds of the land itself seeming to die. How do you fight something like that?
Yeah, you don't. You just die.
Yeah. Then it was past. Dalinar breathed in and out before rising on unsteady legs. He and the figure stood on a solitary pinnacle of rock, a little section that, for some reason, had been protected. It was like a stone pillar a few paces wide, rising high into the air. Around it, the land was gone. Kholinar was gone. It had all fallen away into unplumbed darkness below. He felt vertigo standing on the tiny bit of rock that impossibly remained. Cool, scary, very scary. What this guy fears.
Yeah, very scary.
What is this? Dalinar demanded, though he knew that the being couldn't hear him. The figure looked about, sorrowful. I can't leave much. Just these few images given to you, whoever you are.
Yeah, that's it. That's what we were saying. It's kind of like it seems like at the end, because he was dying or whatever. This is the last that herald that was left
Yeah,
behind, and he's like, all he can give is those clues before he goes to damnation. He actually can't. He can't help. He can't get in touch with them from damnation. So that's it. So
yeah,
before he's gone back.
yeah. These visions. They're like a journal, aren't they? A history you wrote, a book you left behind, except I don't read it. I see it. The figure looked into the sky. I don't know if anyone will ever see this. I am gone, you see. Hmm. Dalinar
Hmm.
didn't respond. He looked over the pinnacle's sheer edge, down at a void, horrified. This isn't just about you either, the figure said, raising his hand into the air. A light winked out in the sky, one that Dalinar hadn't realized was there. Then another winked out as well. The sun seemed to be growing dimmer. It's about all of them, the figure said. I should have realized he'd come for me. Who are you? Dalinar asked, voicing the words to himself. The figure still stared into the sky. I leave this because there must be something. A hope to discover. A chance that someone will find what to do. Do you wish to fight him? Him?
Yeah, who? We still don't know him. Him, the baddie. That's all. Might as well call him the baddie.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason I kind of keep going back to Ruin is what's more appropriate.
Yeah, ruin and desolation are the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you wish to fight him? Yes, Dalinar found himself saying, despite knowing that it didn't matter. I don't know who he is, but if he wants to do this, then I will fight him. Someone must lead them. I will do it, Dalinar said. The words just came out. Will you?
Of course he will.
Or will it be Kaladin? Or
Yeah, well, he'll
Elhokar?
try. The thing is, he's the one that's going to be trying, okay?
True.
And he'll do it until he dies.
Very true. Someone must unite them. I will do it, Dalinar said. The words just came out. Someone must unite them. I will do it! Someone must protect them. I will do it! The figure was silent for a moment. Then he spoke in a clear, crisp voice. Life before death. Strength before weakness. Journey before destination. Speak again the ancient oaths, and return to men the shards they once bore. He turned to Dalinar, meeting his eyes. The Knights Radiant must stand again. So maybe this guy was just a leader or a person of the Knights Radiant, then, if not a herald.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the last bit that's like that he could give. Yeah.
Yep. I cannot comprehend how that can be done, Dalinar said softly, but I will try. Speak to Kaladin some more. That's how you do it.
Mhm. Yeah, just allow research what the Radiants were. Let's not just think of them as, "Ooh, they abandoned us." Like, what happened? They
Yeah.
got taken somewhere. Like, I don't know. I don't know if them.
Yep.
Why did they give up their plates and their blades? Why? What caused them to all do that at once?
Yeah. Possibly some sort of inner betrayal or
Mm.
corruption, or they looked into eternity. They looked into the void, and the void stared back, and the radiance blinked.
Or they found, they found out that the
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 heralds
heralds had
abandoned them.
abandoned them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Men must face them together, the figure said, stepping up to Dalinar, placing a hand on his shoulder. You cannot squabble as in times past. He's realized that you, given time, will become your own enemies, that he doesn't need to fight you. Not if he can make you forget, make you turn against one another. Your legends say that you won, but the truth is that we lost, and we are losing. Who are you? Dalinar asked again, voice softer. I wish I could do more, repeated the figure in gold. You might be able to get him to choose a champion. He is bound by some rules. All of us are. A champion could work well for you, but it is not certain. And, without the Dawn Shards, well, I have done what I can. It is a terrible, terrible thing to leave you alone. Who are you? Dalinar asked again, and yet he thought he knew. I am. I was God, the one you call the Almighty, the creator of mankind. The figure closed his eyes. And now I am dead. Odium has killed me. I am sorry.
Oh crap! Oh good lord, my.
So he
Whew.
says he's the Almighty, which is a
Mhm.
big important factor into why Dalinar would think he's the Almighty. Thanks for letting us know that, Mr. Sanderson.
Mhm.
But he's dead. Odium has killed him.
Yes. So Odium is the he that we need to fight.
Yes, and Odium will have a champion. So who is he referring to when he says you might be able to get him to choose a champion? Is he referring to Odium? There, that doesn't make
Yeah,
sense. Odium wouldn't let his opponent pick a champion.
but he's got rules.
Okay, yeah,
So it might be that if you challenge him with a champion, he can't refuse.
okay. And that champion will, of course, be Kaladin.
Well, no,
Or
well,
bait and
yeah,
switch.
their champion will be Kaladin, but Odium has to have his own champion, which would probably be Zeth.
Taravangian?
Yes, Super Taravangian.
Or one of the Ghost Bloods?
Yeah. And when he talks about without the Dawn Shards, that's like, okay, that makes me think without the Heralds. The Heralds are gone.
Yes, I agree. Or at least they're super powerful shard blades that seemed better than shard blades.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have to track all of them down.
Yeah, but those like the Dragon Balls. um, but uh, but those belong to the heralds. So yeah, where did they go? What it feels like if somebody had them, they would be the ruler of the world anyway. So yeah, nobody has them.
Unless, they lost whatever quality it is about themselves that they could even see
Mhm.
them, like in the way that the shard blades and shard plate are not as powerful as they once were because they no longer
True.
deserved them.
Yeah, they don't fly. They don't do any of that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think we're suitably set up for the next book.
Mm-hmm. Can you imagine the despair of having God tell you he's dead?
Yeah, that's
This is just the last message that God gave you. Is just, hey, by the way, I'm gone.
yeah.
Good luck. I'm so sorry. Good luck. Bye.
Okay, thanks, bye.
Yeah.
Does this retroactively make Yasna correct about being an
um,
atheist?
no, because God existed.
Okay.
She can say God no longer exists, but yeah, God existed. God did create everybody. Her theory of it not being, yeah, so it's not wrong. It's not right.
Cool. Oh, man. And that means the epilogue will be the wit chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Whew.
Dumbfounded.
Quite. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, we're going to air the epilogue chapter right after this one. You won't have to wait a week. But thank you all for tuning in. Have a great rest of your week. Subscribe to that darn Kita if you get a chance, because she's got a great channel.
Make sure you're subscribed to this channel because you know it's good, you know it's great. And have you liked the video?
And joined the Discord. It would be greatly
Mm.
appreciated. And we'll see you next time. Okay,
Yeah,
thanks,
thanks,
bye.
bye.